Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? What's really going on? Is it separation anxiety? What is it? What's really going on? I don't understand the reason for people still having this doubt circulating around Jalen Hurts. It's kind of perplexing to me. It kind of makes me feel like that, you know, it's something beyond football in some of these cases, because some of it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all. I think we got separation anxiety. When you look at how the media has handled this separation, they continue, the media and a lot of people in Philadelphia's YouTube sports media, a lot of those guys, man, they continue to follow a lot what's going on and a lot that has to do with Carson Wentz very closely. I think that's a toxic trait, toxic behavior to follow what Carson Wentz is still doing. Now, I understand you want to follow the games and see if he succeeds, but we don't have to play this media game. We don't have to follow Jalen Hurts wanting to be number one and doubling it down with Carson Wentz wanting to be number two to slight Jalen Hurts. I don't think either situation has a correlation at all. We don't have to, you know, see a video clip of Carson Wentz boxing now and saying, oh, he never did that with us. It doesn't have a correlation at all. Carson Wentz has a new start. Jalen Hurts has a new start. The success of either of these quarterbacks doesn't depend on the other guy. It doesn't depend on the other guy. And don't make this mistake. I see a lot of people making this mistake. A lot of people are making this mistake that people who are now in on Jalen Hurts, myself included, who were Carson Wentz fans, who were diehard Carson Wentz fans, he was the guy, didn't want to see him go. They're knocking us for now being all in on Jalen Hurts, when I think that's the mature thing to do. I'm all in on Jalen Hurts because I believe in him. I'm all in on Jalen Hurts because the skill set is not normal. It's not a normal skill set. I'm all in on Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts showed me some things in those 4 games. Yeah, they didn't translate over to the win column a lot, but that was his debut. A lot of people forgetting that. I'm all in on Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts has a work ethic that I don't think we're going to see in a very long time from a quarterback. You know, that's going to be wearing this Philadelphia Eagles colors. Jalen Hurts deserves his opportunity. So Jalen Hurts is going to get his opportunity, and we're going to see where that goes from there. Now, just because people are all in on Jalen Hurts, that doesn't mean that we can have this stance of pointing these people out and saying, but you were a Carson Wentz fan. We can't be fans of both. What, do you want some of these people to be Colts fans? It's impossible. It's impossible. Jalen Hurts is good enough to be all in on, whether you like it or not. Listen, the adults have to understand that getting behind Jalen Hurts is what you should be doing. The skill set is there. Adults are going to get behind Jalen Hurts. Adults are not going to continue to wish him to fail so we can say we should have kept Carson Wentz. It's time to ride with our guy. It is. And for everybody, this is the real thing that's confusing me. For a lot of these people who are saying, you know, well, I wanted Carson Wentz gone, but Jalen Hurts ain't good enough. I think those people need a psychiatric evaluation. For a lot of these people who screamed for Hurts and now don't want him after the 4 games need a psychiatric evaluation. They really need to be checked out in the head, because I believe those people don't know what they want at all. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, these are some reasons why I believe there's no quarterback in this upcoming draft better than Jalen Hurts. I just don't believe there is. And I'm not saying that because I gotta say it. It's the unpopular opinion. Every time I say it, people challenge me on it. It's the unpopular opinion. But it's my opinion. It's my expert opinion, and I'm going to rock out with it. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, these are some things that I think could be the reason for why I think this way, why that none of these guys in this draft are better than Jalen Hurts. Listen, understand in this video that I have respect for each and every one of these young dudes balling in the NFL and in college right now. I just simply don't think none of them better than Jalen Hurts. And just a few stats that I could point out tells me why I should be feeling the way that I feel. First of all, I believe Hurts is better than Tua. I'm not going to lie to you. Tua started about, 9 more games than Jalen Hurts and finished with 1,800 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, and 5 picks. I'm not impressed with that. I'm not impressed with that with 9 more starts. And didn't he basically wet the bed that last game of the season against Buffalo, 3 picks? And you got Hurts basically more than double what he did in 4 starts in a quarter. More than doubled than what this man did as far as passing yards go. But he not a pocket passer though, right? Not a pocket passer though, right? I'm sick of the disrespect at this point, man. And Hurts we trust. Hurts season, man. I seen Tua wet the bed, man, in the biggest game last year, man, for the Dolphins. I seen it, man. I saw it. Look at this from Jalen Hurts, man. A true dual threat. A true dual threat. The passing numbers are what they are. You can expect that from a quarterback at the collegiate level in most cases. But you expect him to finish strong, though, right? I was impressed with Oklahoma. I was impressed with what he did at Oklahoma and in Alabama. Look how many rushing yards he has in all of these seasons. This is what it takes to get to the next level. A dual threat. Let's talk about Trevor Lawrence. Let's talk about the pretty boy for a second, man. I believe what makes him attractive is his height. I think Trevor Lawrence is a dog, though. Make no mistake about it. But being 6'6", 220 pounds, and semi more athletic than a lot of people would want to give him credit for, I think that this dude is good, though. We're not going to make no mistake about it. The passing numbers are there, but look at the rushing yards. He had one good season, above 500 rushing yards, but is he a true dual threat? I think not. That's what it takes to get to that's what it takes at the next level, man. This NFL different now. Dudes are bigger, faster, stronger. It's different. It's not the same. You just can't sit down there and play la-la with the football. You got to be able to get out of there and make things happen on the run. Didn't y'all tell me, though, that the SEC was the toughest conference in football? So why are we talking about a lot of these quarterbacks who didn't play in the SEC? You know what I'm saying? And why are we hailing these guys like they're the second coming of Jesus? Why are we doing it? I believe Trevor Lawrence is a dog. I believe Trevor Lawrence is the only one possibly better than Hurts. He got a chance, in my opinion. But the rest of these guys who supposed to go 1, 2, and 3, I just don't see it. I just don't see it at all, man. Some of these guys, the ups and downs speaks for themselves, man. But we're going to get into it, man. We're going to talk more about it. But this is what y'all told me, that the SEC was the toughest conference in college football. Y'all did. Which one of these top 3 quarterback prospects came from the toughest conference in football? Which one of these top 3 quarterback prospects did what Jalen Hurts did as far as beating ranked teams and stuff like that? I'll wait. I will wait because I know that you won't find the answer comparable. Trevor Lawrence, Clemson, Zach Williams, BYU, Justin Fields, Ohio State. Didn't Justin Fields get sacrificed in the championship game against Mac Jones? Didn't he look real average? Zach Wilson? Didn't Zach Wilson know? He finished strong, though, I believe. We're going to talk about Zach Wilson, though. We're really going to talk about Zach Wilson. There's no lineage of quarterbacks that come out of BYU. It's not. Now, all of a sudden, we talking about Zach Wilson like he what? Let's talk about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was average in 2018. He was average in 2019. He showed us something his last year. He showed us something. He just now coming alive his last year. 12 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. 11 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. We had to wait for 2020 season. We had to wait for the COVID season for you to show us something. And now you the next Patrick Mahomes. He can't scramble. Listen, I'm not here for it, bruh. I'm not here for dudes who only showed me something one time. Look at Justin Fields. Kind of similar, but not as drastic as a situation that you would get from Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Justin Fields had a good sophomore year, but then he was trash his last year. And he got sacrificed in that bowl game. Come on, man. What are we really talking about? Where's the consistency? Not a dual threat either. Listen, it just don't make sense. Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think these boys better than Hurts.